man. Welcome back to the Man Cave with myself, Cedric Edison, and my boy, Ron Servant. Man, it's a pleasure to have y'all join us today, every week. And if your first time, man, welcome to the cave. Kick your feet up. It's just a space where, two different men from two different walks of life just chop it up, and we just put it out there with the hopes of somebody catching on and hopefully helping somebody. But yeah, man, it's good out this way. Good weather out here in Texas for right now. Um, Seems like a lot of the COVID talk is going away. So I wouldn't say going away. It's just kind of become the norm. At least that's how it seems for me. Like everybody seems to be getting through the quarantine somewhat okay. But man, just good out this way, man. What's up on that good west side?
What's good? Good. Yeah, I know we watch way too much CNN, so we kind of not on a regular basis, but we kind of keep updated to a certain extent. I guess I'm just aware of just the top. Well, I'm doing good. Ron here, SoCal man. Just listening to just the possibility, right, of what like a resurgence, of the COVID virus this winter, and then just the possibility of the flu happening at the same time as COVID. So I don't know. I try not to be, paranoid. I try not to be, too loose. I try to, kind of be the middle of the road, just trying to, sit here tonight and just be present with you, knowing there's, things going on in the world that we're not used to. The new normal is quite different than what we even talked about 2 months ago. So just as I'm checking in here right now, just feeling gratitude that I'm healthy. I had kind of a chest thing going on for probably 2-3 months, and it's just interesting how now that I'm like thinking, gosh, did I have an earlier version of it? Where we are, did we not know at that point when we had certain symptoms? Was that the virus at that point? Has it mutated now to the point where it's a different experience? So I'm getting off topic, but anyways, I'm doing good. I'm feeling alive. My chest is feeling better, so that's a positive movement in my life. Just not having that uncertainty of what's going on there. And just, I think just thankful that my wife comes home safe and healthy every day. She's still working. Myself, I'm home with my son. He's done for the school year. I'm semi-retired, so I'm here at home still. Just still kind of navigating that. So just really enjoying the ability to be here with him. And again, just, really appreciating and valuing and having gratitude when my wife gets home. She's like, through the day, through the week. So I'm good. I'm just interested in just your topic tonight. We're kind of continuing this discussion around, the COVID virus and just how it's impacting us and how we can use this opportunity as a way to grow, to learn, to explore. So I'm excited for you to share the topic and for us to dive in.
Yeah, man. Because last week, y'all, we talked about, just kind of the basics, if you will, of leadership. And just wanted to kind of build on that. And I was just like, man, leadership. And I'm like, just wanted to get into some of the things that kind of goes with that. And I was just like, yo, we should just chop it up around communication, because you have to be an effective communicator to be an effective leader, and I was just like, man, it'd be kind of interesting just to see, where Ron's head at, especially being retired. I know you were like, on a higher echelon, like in that management level. And now here we are in COVID, with everybody within close quarters, and so we got to bring those skills to the house. Which we were talking about in our coaching session earlier too. Y'all, and if y'all don't know, Ron's my coach. So yeah, man, that's kind of where it came from, y'all. Because I know sometimes y'all probably wonder when the hell he come up with these topics. For me, most of the time, it's just some, I wouldn't say random, but something we've probably talked about or something I've seen, experienced in the world. I'm like, huh, I wonder if men talk about this. Hey, Ron, how about this for a topic?
Right?
And so, yeah, man, communication. Yeah, I'll just kind of pose that to you, man. Like when you hear communication, like what's the first thing that comes to mind?
For me, especially what's going on now, is just keeping it real. I mean, not trying to downplay, our fears, not trying to downplay the realness, of the deaths, the realness of the infections, the realness of, just that this is a global epidemic. Um, because I think as leaders and how we communicate, needs to be, understood in a human way, especially, during these times. So we need to be able to, especially as men, be able to, lead and to be, kind of out in front of, these things that are happening to us individually, happening within our family, but also to be, willing to communicate how we're really authentically feeling. We're a little scared. We're nervous. We're uncertain. That doesn't mean we're not still taking a leadership role. It doesn't mean that we can't see something through and move through it. It just means we're just being honest and real with our human emotions, our human feelings. So I think for me, even though I'm home, even though I'm not, going to work, I've been communicating, to a couple of my coworkers, just checking in with them, seeing how things are going. Um, and just, I think that even that in and of itself, I think shows how my leadership is able to integrate just my own life, knowing that I was there for so many years, and gives them that, that understanding that although I'm not there and I'm not working, I still have the similar experiences, uncertainty, fear. So I just, I feel it's important for us, especially as men, to not feel like we need to, be this, this superhero that has no kryptonite. We can be leaders. We can communicate in a way that is really thinking about and being aware of what we need to do, in each moment, but also be willing to pause and say, you know what, I don't know, or I'm uncertain, or I'm feeling this. Because otherwise, I think we create such a, kind of a challenge for others to follow us, because we make it seem like it's just a piece of cake. COVID virus, what's that? We're going to get through it. I mean, it's not going to impact me. It's not going to, if it does, I would be fine with it. It's not going to, it can't take me down. I've got, all the abilities that I need to combat it and to make it through it. Maybe, but I think, we also don't know, right? We're humans. We're not, there's no certainties in life to say that, tomorrow might be your last day of your life, right? We don't know that, whether it's COVID virus or get hit by a car or having a heart attack or, those types of things. So that's kind of hard in experiencing it, and just as far as just the verbal and nonverbal communications of being a leader. And I know those are things you're doing as a father. You're out in the in the front line, serving people, delivering, and creating a sense of leading things forward, right? Being that leader that's taking actions to ensure that moves forward. So I'm just curious for you, having that and then just kind of being the leader within your house. How's that feeling for you right now? What's coming up for you when I'm kind of sharing what I'm going through, and what are your strategies and experiences to keep you moving
Um, yeah, as you were talking, man, it crossed my mind. I was like, maybe subconsciously, this topic came about because here's what happened, y'all. So me and Kanisha, my girlfriend, we were talking, just talking about COVID, and I was sharing some thoughts where, I just had questions. I was just like, man, some of this stuff seems weird. Like, who came up with the 6 feet? Why the mask? Like, before the mask? And I just had some questions. And in retrospect, I didn't really communicate my well, I wouldn't say my true thoughts, but my full thought out there to her, to where it came across as if I wasn't taking the virus seriously.
Mm.
And I was like, yo, that wasn't the case. So that kind of comes up. I'll be honest, man, it's a little different over here, man, because she she works, she's a manager in a deli, at a grocery store, so they're still open. Like, our lives, other than shopping and childcare, we can't take him to daycare, hasn't changed.
Mm.
Blessing or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it really is. It's bittersweet. Um, but really, just trying to lead by example, knowing that this is real. you know,
Mhm.
I could get it, and praying and hoping all positive vibes that I don't get it and bring it home.
Mhm.
So for me, it's just trying to lead and still continue to do what needs to be done in a positive light so that they could see me.
Mhm.
Um, because sometimes it's the nonverbal communication, especially like he'll be 2 in a couple of weeks, but he doesn't understand. But what I have learned is he learns a lot from watching his mom and I.
Mhm.
And that's just the human nature. We learn from that. So just trying to walk in that light and in that state of mind. Um, that's kind of what comes up, man, for the most part. Because, like I say, man, that really changed. It really hasn't. So I guess we haven't really had to deal with the mindset around all of that for
Mhm.
the most part. Um, and he's 2, which I was going to ask you a question. And with him being so young, um, my other son, it just sounds weird. Like, besides my biological, but she has a son outside of us, but that's my son. So whatever, we don't do all that stuff and all that shit. um, but I did have a conversation with him. He's 9, so it's just trying to do a spot check to kind of see, like, okay, what does he know about it, and ward off any inconsistencies he's probably picked up from friends or wherever, and just trying to have those kid-like, I wouldn't say kid-like, but just conversations with him, and just making sure he has good, solid um, understanding of what's going on and how to go about life, even as a kid, because he understands, but not on I don't think they, a child of his age fully comprehends. So it's just trying to communicate why we're going through this.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, that's where we at. Just trying to lead by example, I guess, on this front, and learning more and more that I need to communicate better. And I wouldn't say better, but just differently,
Yeah.
around certain things.
That's interesting how Anthony, as far as his kind of process of going through this. So I think it was the day before we went into being not quarantined, but lost some semi lockdown, in our Southern California area, California. Um, it was on, I think, March 16th, and we had just got back from Catalina, and he was actually working on a project for school over there while we were there, and he was videotaping and doing kind of some narration and a report on the town of Avalon in Catalina during the COVID virus. Just fewer people, just the whole kind of change that we experienced when we were there. And he's all he's 15, so he's missing school. I mean, he loves to learn, so he's not only is he continuing writing this report, but he's like looking into, and this is just who he is. He's looking back in history of the Spanish flu, and just kind of equating what, when, and how that happened, and what's going on now in his life. And as a 15-year-old or young children, I don't think they can grasp the extent, how almost like once in a lifetime that this really is. We hope, right? We hope not to have to experience more and more of these, or something more significant than this. But this is, kind of one of those once in a lifetime experiences that he's going through. That's different than any experience we went through in our lifetime. So it's just, for him to, kind of, I think, take on a role as a leader in his own communications with us and with others. I think it's, I think a good experience for him to go through. I was thinking, as you were talking about that, I was also kind of, and this is kind of changing the channel a little bit, is just how you're experiencing, communication and leadership within your town. Because I know for us, we've had very strong leadership and great communications with Governor Newsom and the mayor of Los Angeles as well, Garcetti. I mean, they've just been very very clear, very concise, very open, very driven to do the right things, to be out in front of things. So I'm just and it's been helpful for us. I think there are those that feel like we're doing too much, which you could argue that, but you look at our numbers overall, especially in Los Angeles, and for a big population of people, we're doing quite well overall, just considering the amount of people we have here. So that's, for us, peace of mind, knowing that our leadership is communicating well with us. They're being effective in their messaging, and most people are following the recommendations, and I think that's seen in the results. I'm just curious for you, and Austin said, how are you experiencing leadership within your community, and just the messaging, and how you feel kind of the overall process is going through for you? And we're not going to get off.
Man, it's probably gonna sound bad, man. But for the past maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, man, I haven't stayed up to date on nothing about this virus, man. Cause it's like nothing changes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me. So like, all right, I can't do any. The only other thing I can do now is put on my NBC suit, my body from the military. I mean, wash hands. It's common sense. I mean, just continue doing what I'm doing until we get the all clear.
Yeah.
But from I'm keeping my ear to the ground. It's a little weird here, dude. It's like a split. I mean, they're communicating for sure, and they're keeping us up to date. But here recently, I think it was like 2 days ago, the governor announced that they're working on plans to reopen the city. And I mean, they're talking like next week or so. So hearing that, it's like, whoa, that divide. Thank God, we're opening back up, and then other people are like, what the hell are y'all thinking? Oh my God, oh my God. So that's kind of where it is. But I mean, to me, it seems like they're making informed decisions, and they're communicating that. We're just catching it different based on our own opinions. But in my opinion, and knowing what I know, like just from being in the service, they're making informed decisions. They are, and I think it's for the good of the people.
Right.
And so that part I'm digging. And overall, like I said, overall, man, in my opinion, doing a decent job in communicating to the public. And I don't think that they're out to get us.
And it's all
you
new, right?
know,
I mean, no, none of us, the governors, us, people in our communities, none of us have gone through this specific type of event before. Um, I think it's not, in my opinion, we shouldn't be, on two different sides. We should be trying to do what's right. I think nobody wants businesses to be shut down. We want to see the economy strong. We want to see people out enjoying their life. I don't think the majority of people have a difference of opinion around all those things. It's just trying not being mindful in a way where worst case scenario doesn't happen as a result of being, I guess, in my opinion, too too soft to where there's not that thinking ahead. It's like, I think this is like one of those moments where we need to be present, but we do need to be thinking about the future, right? What if
yeah,
there is another wave?
exactly.
If there is another wave in the winter time, you know, are we learning to make sure we're doing all the things we need to do until, up to that point? Now we can we can all argue about what we have or haven't done. Our leaders, have they done what they should have done? I mean, that's all behind us now. But what can we do now? What can we do
Right.
as leaders within our families to do something different now? I think that's the important thing that I think you and I are trying to really articulate is, these are extreme times, whether you're in it or you're not. I mean, most likely at the end of the day or the end of this pandemic, most of us are going to know somebody that was affected by it, right? To one
Yeah,
extent or another. And in a country of how many millions of people, that's pretty rare for to be that widespread. So what is birthed out of that, right, is this possibility of how we show up, how we communicate, how we show, how we lead, how we you know, do things in a way that allows us to evolve, right? I think that's really kind of the underlying hope that we have here is how can we, because there's all these other topics we talked about, and I think what Cedric and you and I have always tried to do is articulate or open up space for evolving, right? Growing, learning, experiencing. And this is just another one of those, topics that is, it is what it is, right? There's no answer per se. There's not even a cure for it right now. There's these couple medications that are possible, but again, I think but within all that, it's like, how do we still stay true to how we feel we can impact, first of all, the closest people to us in our lives, leading through solid communication in every question we have, right? Because what our fear is might not be our spouses or our girlfriend's fear. We all experience things differently, so it's articulating, understanding, asking that question, how we're feeling during this. So when we're trying to lead, we're not just thinking about how we're leading, in a way that's not encompassing all the people that we love.
yeah, man. This probably, in my opinion, one of, if not the top thing you have to do when it comes to leadership, and probably something you should master is communication.
Mm-hmm.
And we men, especially us men, we get a bad rap. we do. We get a bad rap. Uh, mostly at the home, like, men don't listen, they don't talk, they don't communicate. I just want a man that'll communicate or whatever. And when we at work, it can almost just be that dictatorship type deal where,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I think it's real important, but I wouldn't say but that counts as everything. It it's highly needed because if we don't talk about anything, nothing will change. Um, and but I'm seeing where it's happening.
Right.
I mean, just like I see, and most of it is like just on social media or when you at work, just a little bit, because that's most of where I'm at. Where just the different, like, people are so strong on their opinions too. It's almost like they're fighting. And I'm like, okay, I'm excited that, the conversations are being had, but it's like, let's just, you put on his right shoe and he puts on your, so we can understand where everybody stands and just be okay with it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, it's just communication. Wow, that
Well,
was a
the
good
other,
one.
yeah, the other thing I was thinking as you're saying that was the whole other side of that is listening, right? Because if we're not a communicator and a leader that not only communicates but also listens and really develops, the ability to connect, because we're not just putting out what we feel, we're listening to all of the information that's coming into our awareness and allowing that, receiving that, and then articulate that in a way that's creating, a vision, a movement, an idea of what we want, how we want to take things forward. So, um, and again, that's another, not just a male thing, that's just a human race thing. It's just in our communications, we could be the best articulator, the best, outward express, something we can express, but we also have to be very mindful of, are we a good listener too? Are we listening to those that are giving us the information so we can be even greater leaders? We're not
Yeah,
closing our
like
minds and our ears to things that we don't necessarily believe in. We need to listen to as much as we possibly can, and then come up with our own kind of methodology of what's the importance in my vision to move this forward, and not impact people because of that decision.
yeah, actively listening, right? That's what I remember, man. That was like the key phrase in every leadership and management seminar or workshop we went to. Active listening, active listening. But it's true. I'm glad you brought that up, man, because it's a difference between just listening and active listening. Um,
It's really
yeah.
something they should teach in schools, right? I mean,
Uh,
give them a semester, give them a year of good listening skills. I mean, I think there's just a lot of opportunities for us to really learn more about ourselves when we take the time to listen, with a clear conscience, and not already be formulating how we want to respond to it. Just listen. Just interesting.
yeah.
You know.
Cause I kind of do that now, man. Like when we first started, dude, I used to have a pad out, and every now and then, if I know it's a deep topic or something, I might have one, just to jot a question down. But it's really just, for me, it's better to just listen
Mm-hmm.
and then just go off of the information versus, trying to do all of that other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it, man. I get it.
Well, we
Um,
appreciate you, the listener, for listening intently to us, and you
I see.
communicate to others through your leadership on what an amazing place this is for people to hang out in the cave. We'd love for you to explore that possibility. Every episode we do might not be an episode that's necessarily for you, which is okay. Um, there may be that episode that's coming up that might be the exact episode that you need to, hear or learn from, or comment on, or share with somebody else. I think that's what we always try to, create just this talking point around. This isn't something that's just exclusive to us. We're trying to give this to the world in whatever way is how it's received. And if that's just maybe sharing something you learned or heard here in conversation, or hey, you might want to check out the man cave, and just maybe there's some topics that might be of interest to you, to listen to engage with. I mean, that's always available to you, the listeners, is engaging with us. we had a premiere last week, and we got some interesting kind of dialogue going on between a couple of the listeners, and we really appreciate that happening. Really value that interaction between us. We'd like to know not necessarily who you are. I mean, we'd like to know who you are, but if that's not how you want to share yourself, just showing up and sharing just your thoughts and ideas and comments, we'd love that. And appreciation for you, Seth. Just knowing, I think you kind of take it as you were just expressing. Not much has changed, but you're out. You're out in the front line, delivering packages with still that unknown out there. So I worry about you. I hope you worry about yourself enough where you are wearing protective measures as you may need to.
Yeah, I'm being a horrible leader out there, dude. Well, well, no, I'm being a good leader, just having horrible communication because everybody's home now. So they see the van coming and they want to just start walking up to the van. And I'm like, no, I need my 6 feet. Like, stay back. So it's hard when communication sucks. Like, no, get away from my van.
Well, I appreciate you kind of sticking with what you're doing and really supporting your family and still working out there. And I appreciate you, the listeners, for joining us. And this shall continue. This shall evolve. This shall not be our last episode. This is just the continued new evolution of who we are and what we're going to deliver here. So,
yeah. Man, I appreciate y'all listening. And of course, man, I'm super deep appreciation for you, man. You've been my boy since 17, November 17, right? Oh man, so much love there, dude. Yeah, y'all. Man, I hope something was said for you or for somebody you know. And communicate that by sharing, liking, commenting. Get with us. That wasn't dry. It wasn't dry, y'all.
Cough too. You did a right cough.
Use elbow. I'm gonna check my temperature now, make sure.
Right. Disinfect your skin now.
Oh well, man, it's been a blast, man. It's been a blast every week. So y'all, I guess until next week, I'm Ron.
Yes.
Love y'all, man. Love you, bro.
Take care.
All right.